Title: I was landing hard punches on the face of the bastard I once considered my friend when his wife woke up, jumped out of the tent, and said, "What's going on here?" I paused and said, "We had a disagreement over my cheating wife. You didn't know your husband was sleeping with her?" She immediately grabbed my wife's hair, and a real epic showdown began. Chapter 1: Campfire Lies, Moonlight Truth. We were supposed to be unplugging. No phones, no stress, just two couples, the wilderness and old friendship. At least that's what I believed. 4 of us, together since college. Me, my wife Tessa, my buddy Marcus, and his wife Elise. We were the double date crew. Game nights, holidays, camping trips. Trust? Never questioned. Until tonight. It was just past midnight when I stepped out of the tent to take a leak. That's when I noticed 2 shadows, Tessa and Marcus, sneaking off into the woods. Whispers, hands brushing, soft laughter. I didn't follow. I didn't need to. The truth crashed down like thunder. Every late-night message, every time she said, "He's like a brother," every weird glance when they thought no one was looking, and now they were in the woods together behind my back. I didn't wait for them to come back. I waited 20 minutes, long enough for them to get comfortable, to feel safe. Then I walked out there, quiet and steady. Their clothes were still mostly on, but her hoodie was off and his belt was undone. They both froze when they saw me. "You son of a bitch," I said. "I trusted you." Marcus tried to stand up, stammered something about misreading signals. I didn't let him finish. I swung hard, caught him right in the cheek. He went down like a sack of bricks. I was landing my 3rd punch, blood now on my knuckles, when I heard a tent zipper and a voice yell, "What's going on here?" Elise, eyes wide, barefoot in the grass. She looked from Marcus to me, then to Tessa, still clutching her shirt closed. "We had a disagreement," I said, standing up, "over my cheating wife." Then I turned to her. "You didn't know your husband was sleeping with her?" Silence. Then Elise screamed and launched at Tessa. Fists, hair, screams, chaos exploded in the moonlight. But that was just the outburst. The real revenge? That started after we packed up, after the drive home in separate cars. After I told Tessa, "Don't worry, I'm not going to yell. I'm going to take everything that matters to you and make sure you feel it, one layer at a time." She thought the punches were the worst part. She had no idea what was coming. Chapter 2: Everything you faked, I'll break. By the time we got home, the adrenaline was gone. But the clarity? Still sharp as glass. Tessa sat across from me in the living room, nursing a bruised ego and a split lip, courtesy of Elise. She didn't apologize. She didn't cry. She just sat there, arms folded, waiting for me to calm down. "If this is about revenge," she said coldly, "you've made your point." I looked her dead in the eyes. That wasn't revenge. That was me showing restraint. Then I stood up and grabbed the folder I'd already prepared. Because here's the truth. I knew before the trip, not the full details, but something didn't sit right. Tessa's late nights grading papers, even though she was a project coordinator. Her locked phone, the shift in how she touched me, more out of obligation than affection. So 2 weeks before the trip, I installed a backup cloud sync on our shared laptop, tied it to her text messages, which were still linked to her iCloud. I saw everything, every message, every photo, every lie she sent Marcus in the dead of night. And every time she wrote, "He's so oblivious. I think he'd thank you for borrowing me." Step 1: divorce with receipts. I served her the next day. Fault-based, adultery proven, no alimony. I kept the house, my inheritance from my father. The look on her face when she realized she'd be moving in with her mom again? Priceless. She asked, "How long have you been planning this?" I smiled. "Since you started confusing my loyalty for stupidity." Step 2: Marcus's world burned quietly. He worked in real estate, big on image, family man, Instagram husband vibes, so I sent a private message to his brokerage firm's HR. screenshots of the affair, time-stamped evidence of client meetings he'd skipped for his extracurricular activities, and a little note, just a concerned citizen. You may want to ask your employee how he's representing your values. He wasn't fired, but his commissions dried up. His name got quietly removed from listings. One by one, his clients shifted to another agent. Step 3. Elise and I, we talked. She invited me over. We didn't drink. We didn't scream. We made a list. Every asset they tried to hide. Every lie they told every mutual friend who had known and said nothing. Elise filed her own suit. And while Tessa and Marcus tried to piece together a new relationship from the wreckage of their marriages, Elise and I were quietly rebuilding our lives with receipts and leverage. Chapter 3. Your reputation, your wallet, and your peace. Now mine. You can fake love. You can fake apologies. But when it all burns down, you can't fake who shows up when the smoke clears. Tessa and Marcus had each other now, and only each other. Their friends, scattered, their families, humiliated, their reputations, bleeding out. Because Elise and I, we didn't just walk away, we narrated our exit. The social implosion. It started with a single post. Elise shared a carefully worded message on Facebook. Nothing dramatic, just measured truth. To those who've been wondering, yes, the camping trip ended with broken marriages. No, it wasn't spontaneous. And yes, we know who knew and stayed silent. We're not bitter, we're better. We just won't be keeping liars in our circle anymore. Then I shared it, and so did 3 others, mutual friends who'd suspected something was off but hadn't known just how deep it went. Suddenly, silence followed Tessa and Marcus everywhere. The group chats dried up. Birthday invites went missing. Even co-workers kept conversations short and surface level. Because betrayal, it echoes. And people feel it even if they weren't the ones directly hit. The legal aftershock. Tessa didn't just lose the house. She lost her half of the savings, her claim to my retirement plan, and any right to spousal support, per the judge's ruling on fault-based adultery. She had to take a job at a smaller firm, making half of what she was used to. She tried fighting for the car. I offered her Marcus's. She didn't find that funny. Marcus's real trouble came with Elise's lawyer. Remember that list? Turns out Marcus had quietly used joint funds from his and Elise's shared accounts to fund some of his meetups with Tessa, meals, hotels, even a weekend work trip he billed as business. But Elise's lawyer was good, very good. She filed for restitution, and the court agreed. Marcus now pays Elise monthly to make up for what he stole from their marriage, plus interest. And just when they thought it was over, they moved in together. Small apartment, no housewarming party, no congratulations. But one thing followed them. A link, a public file, shared anonymously but picked up by several acquaintances containing screenshots, transcripts, a timeline, no slander, just undeniable proof of who they were and what they did. Their names weren't even in the title, but everyone who needed to know knew. Final chapter. I don't want closure. I want consequences. It's strange what you stop missing. I don't miss the late-night texts. I don't miss pretending to laugh at inside jokes I was never really part of. I don't miss the weight of trying to hold together something that was already broken behind my back. Mostly, I don't miss them. Tessa, Marcus, 2 people who thought they could build happiness out of stolen trust. They thought consequences would fade. But real consequences aren't always loud. They're isolating, persistent. They creep in when no one shows up to your housewarming, when your boss avoids eye contact, when the mutual friends you counted on stop responding, because your names make things awkward. Tessa sent me a message recently. I miss what we had. Not the mistakes, just us. I hope someday you can forgive me. I didn't reply, because she wasn't missing me. She was missing the version of her life that wasn't held together by secrets and shame. Marcus tried to joke it off, ran into him at a gas station. He looked smaller somehow, like a man who didn't know which direction to stand in anymore. He gave me that weak half smile. "Hey man, you look good. No hard feelings, right?" I looked him in the eye. "You taught me something valuable, Marcus." "Yeah?" "Yeah, never confuse history with loyalty." Then I walked away. As for Elise and me, we don't talk every day, but when we do, it's honest. Not flirtation, not pain, just shared understanding. We're not trying to rebuild something out of the past. We're building from the ground up, without secrets. Because in the end, I didn't need closure. I didn't need apologies. I didn't need to scream or destroy their lives with rage. All I needed was to make sure they lived with the truth. And that truth, the best revenge is never the explosion. It's the echo that keeps ringing long after the silence. Was this revenge justified? If yes, then like the story and subscribe to the channel and share with others. We want to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below. If you're into real, jaw-dropping pro-revenge stories that keep you on the edge of your seat, don't just scroll. Hit that subscribe button and smash the like button and share the story to fuel more thrilling tales just like this. Your support helps us bring these powerful stories to life. Every like, share, and subscription truly means the world. Thank you for being part of Lauren's story, where every story has a shadow and every betrayal has its echo.